So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down with the Yank. It's time to do a Guardian crossword today. We've got the Cryptic 29677, I do believe. And I have a wine here today that I found at a train station. It had a couple of awards on the label. I was impressed with it. It's the Valtier 2018 Reserva. And it is just pleasantly Spanish, though the name seems French. But we've just got nothing but cassis and some vanilla, oak on the nose. Very nice. And on the palate, it's slightly tannic, it's smooth, it's bold. It's got a nice soft finish. It's just begging for poultry or pork, to be honest with you. Maybe lamb. Yeah, it's not a bad wine. I'd give it like 3.4, 3.5 stars. I'm generous that way, but it's so hard to find a bad bottle of wine in Europe, you know. It really is. But fabulous. Really fabulous wine. For €5 especially, right? You know, it's one of those things you see at the train station. You're like, I could probably use that. Grabbed a couple bottles, brought them home. Can't beat it at all. So let's hop into our grid, see what we got today. It is a Thursday, and I'm telling you, again, like every week, I get home on Thursday, I am dragging my third point of contact. I mean, it's like I am beat. Yet tomorrow morning, I don't have to be out of bed on Fridays till about 5. I'll be out of bed at 4:45. I'll be tickled pink because it's Friday. And I'll just speed off to work, fire up that little Mini Cooper, and off I go, right? You know, and it's kind of funny. In the mornings, it's cold. In the afternoons, it's kind of nice. So in the morning, top up to work, top down on the way home. And then I'll be just as awake and as vibrant as ever. It's kind of like that old trope. If your doctor says you should drink 4 glasses of 8-ounce glasses of water a day, it's like swallowing lava, right? But you have no problem throwing down 12 beers and 16 shots, right? You know, that goes down really super easy after work, right? So it's the same thing. I'm dragging today. I have my third point of contact. I mean, I am dragging it along with me, and I don't even have one of those. I'm what you call one of those skinny third points of contact kids from Dallas, Texas kind of a guy, though. Yeah, no. That's one of those things. So it is what it is. But we got a Pangakupu grid construction today. So to the setter. And let's go ahead and hop in and see what we got. So agrees. Bill should have trousers. Well, that's just leaping off the page at me. Not so much. Mug repeatedly cheers choral work. Well, we've got 7 letters. I'm assuming the definitive term here is not mug, but maybe choral work. And motet would be too short. We're not talking about the choir, so we can't be thinking about a quartet or whatever. We could be talking about a cantata, and if it's a cantata, repeatedly cheers. A mug could be a can, and the ta-ta. And I hope that's not the only one that I'm able to parse through today. I hope. Okay, agrees. Bill should have trousers. Who's Bill? Survey part of cricket match involving clubs. 4 and 4. Seems like we had this before. Was that a... I don't know. Seems like I don't get it, but it seems like maybe a once over or something. I don't know. We'll keep that in mind. Nymph appearing in promotional material for Quarry. Well, a nymph, if we're talking a friend to Artemis, then we're talking about perhaps the mountain nymph Oread, and it could be promotional material, could be an ad for ore, which you would presumably get out of a quarry. And now I feel good about once over. So let's go ahead and put that in there, or I'll forget that I have something to help me when I get down here later. Okay, so hard exercising with jacket half on. And I'll bet you this would be cardio. Jacket half on. So instead of a cardigan, a cardi, and then the O for on, maybe? I mean, I'm asking kind of loudly of you to assist, and yet you cannot respond to me. I'm aware of this. But it's an emotional source of strength, stability for me, and I appreciate it very much. Touch thorax, gathering temperature, allergy treatment. Well, an allergy treatment typically involves patch tests. I can't imagine. I would hate to have to go through that. Oh, I would hate to have to go through one of those. There's just those bubble injections. They're not terrible. You get them TB on your forearm, etc., but still, I don't know. Okay, daughter is left to fool around in books and agrees Bill should have trousers, but agrees sounds like it could be accords, and cords sound like corduroys, so why not? Daughter is left to fool around in books. Fool around. I don't know about in books, but just to fool around might be to disport. And so far we're running nice and strong-ish. When one may have studied fishtail. 6 and 4. Brandish weapon with energy over one of a theatrical disposition. With energy over one of a theater. First of all, when you think of a theatrical disposition, what's the first thing that comes to mind? I happen to have a baccalaureate degree in Elizabethan poetry, and all I can ever think of is Shakespeare. And so I guess we're talking about Shakespearean and Shakespeare, and I get it. Kind of an easy one on that one, really, if we're right. If I'm wrong, please forget I said that was an easy one. Augment with bling, especially in a bracelet. So bedazzle would be too short, but we could definitely be spangle. And bracelet could be a bangle. And then we have the especially in here. Okay, nice. Forecast for aircraft to sequester carbon. Well, hopefully that'll come to us a little later. Unsophisticated lust about anything vulgar. Wow. Okay. Don't know. Capital city, extravagant, mostly sleeping. Figurative, gosh, I hate that. Let's see, figurative expression. Sorry about that. Figurative expression. Very high notes brought about end of mirror. I don't know about the end of the mirror, but if we could be talking about a trope, though, I mean, by the actual definition. Do we have any luck on this one yet? No, I don't think we're going to have much luck on that one. Dutch city. Ancient city, realistic about introduction of tourism. Well, Dutch city, the one that comes to mind is Utrecht. So I like how I can skip around in those black squares these days. Whoever came up with that, I appreciate it. So forecast for aircraft to sequester carbon. I don't. Well, that would be like an environmental protection thing, and then you got a jet, so maybe a project, forecast, project. And it looks like our capital city may be Ottawa. And this looks like unsophisticated lust about anything vulgar. Well, unsophisticated sounds like low tech. So, okay, well, yeah. Harness oil at sea for the most part. Okay, so harness oil. Actually anagrams to, looking at that A, E at the end, so I could probably come up with L-I-O-N-S and then S-H-A-R-E, so maybe most part, lion's share, and then you've got the anagram of harness oil. So lion's share. Ah, that I don't know. I feel okay with it, but I'm like, was dismissive of Chap's second edition. Okay. Row after Irish festival gets more spirited. C16. Okay, let's finish seeing these. Assistance in bringing up English children at first in troubled times. Orchestra finally directs adopting C scales. Probably a sins. That's just coming out of my mouth as a musician. No help there. One young guy coming in to copy enamel work. Well, when I think of enamel work, I think of croissant, and I've got the letters for it, or the spaces for it. Cloisonné. Okay, so what do we got here? So was dismissive of Chap's second edition, and this looks like it could be hissed. So I get the dismissive, but I don't get the second edition. Do we have anything here? No. A C16. Okay, we'll get there in a second. Might as well get there now, actually, because I don't know what that is. Retiring comedian stressed about source of humor. fruit the writer tucked into now and later after cooking. Well, see that O at 17 across? This tells me it's probably a watermelon. I don't get anything else, really, except maybe the tucked into now and later, but I don't have an M. I can get water out of that. W-A-T-E-R, but then I still have an N-O-L. Should be the end of watermelon. And after cooking, is that where the M-E comes in? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't even know if it's right. It's just lining up. So, row or row, but I think row after Irish festival gets more spirited. So gets more spirited, or more spirited would be feistier. You could have a feist, and then a tear is a row. Yeah, that makes sense. Assistance in bringing up English children at first in troubled times. Well, assistance in bringing up. Are we talking about emetics? Are we talking about vomit serum? To those of you who are providers or nurses or healthcare technicians, is that a good definition to you? Because I think it's absolutely fabulous. And I'm a healthcare administrator, so I don't really have it hands-on. I've got experience as a surgical tech, EMT, and phlebotomist, but those were all college jobs. Okay, I gotta try to make some sense of this. I want to finish this strong. I mean, I feel like we've been doing pretty good. Been getting a pretty good grasp of these things and how they work. But half the time I'm still wandering around going like, what? So when one may have studied fish tail. So we have school here for our 6. And do we have a school year? A school term? School days? I don't know. Let's see if we got anything here. Garden implement right in drier surroundings. Looks like it could be a trowel, and then you do have the whole towel thing for a dryer, I guess. Confused Dane cornered by Claudius, where there's the rubbing. Well, this looks like it could be kneading. So you have the king, Claudius. And it's not just Hamlet we're talking about, I'm sure. There's been a lot of them named Claudius. So yeah, and then, you know, there's the rubbing, kneading. So maybe that'll help something. Retiring comedian, stressed about source of humor. This looks like withdrawn, so that would work with retiring. Withdrawn. Maybe you got a school term here. Oh, this is a lot better grid than what we were dealing with yesterday. Oh my gosh. I mean, yesterday was a brilliant grid, don't get me wrong. It's just not better for me. Today is better for me. Called in a group of soldiers to plan. Maybe arrange. And not that it goes with anything, not that it makes any sense whatsoever. I don't know. Doesn't. And here we have a pot, certain thing, ineffectual people, rejected. So this looks like it could be a stew pan. And the only thing I can think of is ineffectual people could be considered wets. backwards. It is nap, a term that I'm not familiar with. Is that a certain thing? Or is that to reject something? To nap something? Or I don't know. I don't know. But I'm pretty excited just to have it all filled in. Let's take a look and see what we've got. I don't see. Okay, I guess I screwed up. Close on name. I sure did. What did I put in there? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I didn't put anything. I guess I forgot an N or did something. I don't know what I did. Okay, well, so be it. But that's why we call it Yank attempting to solve Guardian Cryptic. Because even if I get all of the letters right, I still don't get all of the clues. And so, as usual, fantastic grid. Well done, Pangakupu. I'm starting to really like your grids. They're certainly not simple, but for some reason, they benefit my Yankish mind. So it's all wonderful. So, Benir de adieu, please. And I want to say thank you again to everyone for the likes and subscribes. I cannot believe all the subscribers that are coming on board. And if you're new to the channel, you are so very welcome here. It's a wonderful community. Everybody here is amazing. So enjoy. And feel free to share any thought. Until we see you tomorrow. Ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Servus. Grüß Gott. Ciao. Cin-Cin. Be well out there and try to be good to the strangers behind you in line. Cheers.